for
Nsem-Pii will honor more. Now Nsem so it is. Utie now share on my YouTube channel.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Emma Kwame BM at the Nsem-Pii TV platform ye and so. Now, Kwame Baffoe Abronye, Bruno Regional Chairman at the MPP. Now, the chairman has returned once again to sting John Dramani Mahama and NDC Amayokuno. TF1 him says, see, I can say NDC now policy beyond from a 2 Ghana for him. Sloganeering no ye about the 24-hour economy. Not even one personality in the free NDC or to abechirim. And I want you to tell me the trendy baby a doctor of economics be Paul Adomochere to the say Dr. Pudon. Yes, I was a 24-hour economy saying Yatanes bo and I yaba beyo. Now we Kwame Baffoe Abronye at in a living room and now you know and our live video Nsem-Pii TV and Saka video Nibia yaba my head life and we chrim and the couldn't be seen there. NDC for team 24-hour economy no na Mahama na nkasa wo kan asem no ono so ntimi mechirebo na okaya kokosi ene news a free asen eba say o parliamentary candidate bi eno o constituency secretary yere ehihye hodom Kwame Baffoe Abronye say ho na John Dramani Mahama e de 24-hour economy no free ba na nsem ne de bebre same jamfi so ho aba asem yi ho videos bi a one ne yere aware ne last year omone nam America bruchimemu a shirt ye hye no ne watch bono ne yere bag kuta no same jamfi na ba be kan se samira ba omia nam a cosmetics ya egu V8 mu nya asem ketwa twitwa ntro bibiri enei amanfo bi ahwehwe ma hwe watch bono ne shirt hye no ne yere bag se bono ho videos na omo convert here from US dollars and euros de buy no sika twitwiri die asame jamfi de to sa niam we ama NDC fu soldiers ne bu afu gidi enya asem kotwa omo say na be kono dia ene 2024 no omo ko independent na independent no bi nim aba no omo kwakoto ama no na videos ni wa ha mo me enko hwe
was it the explanation number every asin central so the parliamentary candidate in the constituency secretary na da na yire ho ma de achia na peace ni so take over any 24-hour economy no nti say wa also want this explanation we are saying there o ma kire o mu do mama no so no say na dam for pa na parliamentary candidate no nti o ma start 24-hour economy ne say o ma tima kire mu yes say there o da yire ho ma de achia na obi so aba abeto aso 24-hour economy nti o ma start free asin central the 24-hour economy ne de e mo bia nkata na ni ze on tiase e so tia on tiase akwa asin central o ba tiase e so tiase se sa na ekoro nti wo se de mo men kasa asem ne so se me tiase no mo amo kasa mo tiase ne me mo nya adwene explanation number every na ekoro no me come obia tibi ze 24-hour economy no explanation in free asin central asia sa so aba o da yire ho ma de achia no obi so aba take over 24-hour economy no ti do ma policy no mo mfa ye be hia wa chiro
I can't be a busy, I will be as almost a busy. Yeah, what would you think I know with interest? I'm never independent. I know
I say Central NDC executive, any members of a Pama Mijima, and a yes, Mayor Communication Officer or a senior Kumasi branch. I'm sir, your chairman can say, BBC, no, I was saying Kauba branch in so. Anybody to money because they do say about 2 constituency about move branch other than Mijima, Obiani, Occupy, Wako, Obian contest, candidate, Emma say, we're beating the Kakrabida. By last 4 years, young Kaya, the FCC, the same thing. And last 4 years, I am chairman Baba Gariba. And then they go, Omo Yaya, Sanko Omo Yaya to Nijima, Professor B. Edenaba. Yamincha, the Omruko National, Yabogu. I can't how many months, and you have to about 5 months. I am to about. We are dealing with a BC with that. Assistant Central. Now, your regional chairman, they didn't know how. Yeah, got two about Obongo for me. Say, Omuna against. When I'm in charge, Omuna winning here. That's a BBC. Yes, also, Mijima, offer now on any day. Kasa, now only 24 Kasa. Now who fit Prakope? Now say, oh my letter say, wow, the NDC party, and every natural idea. Secretary, Mayor Papa Mahama said, no Mijima, no. Yes,
As always, we will isolate the key points for you viewers, and then we go into them, delve into them one after the other. So the first part of what happened in court was the admission of Jakpa's dismissal letter from the Ghana Armed Forces into evidence. That letter was admitted into evidence. The second one is, after a bit of struggle, it was admitted to evidence. The second one is, as you see on the screen, the legality of the Big C agreement. And that's important because the Attorney General has been stressing that the agreement, the ambulance agreement, it's been an international contract. Pursuant to the provisions of 1992 Constitution, I believe Article 289 or so, I can't remember well, had to go to Parliament. It needed parliamentary approval. So the Parliament of 2012 looked at it and they approved it. The fact here is that the Big C company was not part of what was approved by Parliament. And that's what it means about the legality of the Big C agreement. Big C is the company that Richard Jakpa was an agent for, the company that was to deliver the ambulances that Richard Jakpa was representing in Ghana. Okay, the next one is issues about the commission paid to Richard Jakpa. As you all know, viewers, at the end of the day, Akesla Tuforsen is being prosecuted for occasioning financial loss to the state. Now, the financial loss to the state for which Mr. Tuforsen is being prosecuted is 2.1 million euros or so, significant amount of money. It turns out in court today that Richard Jakpa earned from the taxpayer 700,000 euro for no work done, absolutely no work done. That's what came up in court today. This is very interesting. You now see how people who are desperate to record, people are fighting because I think they knew that this day will come and they were hoping to prevent this day from coming. That is why they file a mistrial. That is why they do a press conference. They say they have some tape because they don't want us to know that Richard Jakpa, Ghanaian taxpayers, MPP foot soldiers, NDC foot soldiers, me, I'm one of them. We are all foot soldiers. Listen. Richard Jakpa took 700,000 euro of your money. Those of you who are shouting, hey, Richard Jakpa, the guy in the box, he said in court today, admitted that he has collected 700,000 euro of the Ghanaian taxpayers' money into his pockets for being a representative of a company that was to deliver ambulance that did not deliver a single ambulance. Your money, my money, has gone into his pocket, 700,000. And Johnson Asiedu Ketia was presenting this guy as a paragon of virtue at a press conference together with Samuel Jamefi, the National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. They together held a press conference, presented Richard Jakpa as a paragon of virtue. They did not tell us, and they always don't tell us the whole truth. They did not tell us that the said Richard Jakpa had benefited from the taxpayers' money, 700,000 euro. Viewer looking at me, Kwesi Mensah in Aboba, Kofi in Takrade, Mansa in Kumasi, have you collected 700,000 euro of the taxpayers' money for no work done? If you have done the work, the taxpayer needs to pay you, no problem. Richard Jakpa took 700,000 euro of the taxpayers' money into his pocket. Now you understand why they said mistrial. We don't want the trial. We don't want the Attorney General. Godfrey Dame is a bad boy. Take him out. You see how Nsem-Pii was saying Godfrey Dame is evil. Because they knew that if the trial progresses, Ghanaians are going to turn their guns on anyone who has taken their money. And that is Richard Jakpa. Let's move on. Admission of Jakpa's dismissal letter from the Ghana Armed Forces. The prosecution, led by Alfred Tuah-Yeboah, Deputy Attorney General, sought to tender the dismissal letter which terminated the employment of Richard Jakpa in the army into evidence. This was faced by an objection by Thaddeus Sori, who attacked the relevance of the document. Tamaklo, who sought to alert his counterpart on his feet to say that the evidence was self-serving, was scolded by the court when the court asked whether he, Tamaklo, skipped his law of evidence classes. Hey, this was a bit dramatical. The court subsequently admitted the letter into evidence. So the story here is that when they tendered the letter, that this is the letter of Richard Jakpa, the man in the dock. This is the letter of Richard Jakpa. And that the prosecution sought to tender that in evidence. Thaddeus Sori, counsel for the defense, raised the objection and said that it wasn't relevant. Whilst Basit Bamba was on his feet, court report says that Tamaklo was telling Basit Bamba, I believe in his very arrogant connotation, Tamaklo, very, very arrogant boy. In his very arrogant connotation, he was telling Basit Bamba that now I can say that about Tamaklo because I've hosted him on Good Evening Ghana and praised his work as a going to Supreme Court for Senator Rollins. But since then, the guy has become so brutally arrogant, I just stay away from him. I saw him at a funeral. The way the guy behaved, I just stay away from him. I don't know how people, just something small, NDC, guys, that just gets into their head and they think that they become some, hey, take your time, Oga, relax. There's a long way ahead. Relax, relax. He rose up in court, giddy, to tell Basit Bamba, his senior. Basit Bamba taught even me, Basit Bamba taught me, so he's his senior cry. But he's his colleague in the court, he's a counterpart. He was telling Basit Bamba that the evidence is self-serving. Then the court, when lawyers say the court, they mean the judge. Then the court told him that, did you skip your evidence lecture? Sit down. That's why we said the court scolded him. In the conclusion, the court admitted the evidence. What was in the letter that was written by the Ghana Armed Forces? And who signed it? Let's go to that. This is the letter. Army Headquarters, Burma Camp, Accra, 77539 something. 12 September 2007. Reference, Army number. Please, release from service for unsatisfactory conduct. Lieutenant Richard Jakpa. These are the details. The above named officer was commissioned into the Armor Corps as a regular officer on 21st August 1998. All things being equal, the officer should have made the rank of captain on 21st August 2002 and a major on 21st August 2007. He has consistently failed his promotion exams and now lags behind his mates in rank. Also, his service with the colors has been largely unsatisfactory, marked by consistent fraudulent conduct, abrasiveness, and general indiscipline. Viewers, note the words that were used, and I'll come to the one who signed it. His service with the colors has been largely unsatisfactory, marked by consistent fraudulent conduct, abrasiveness, and general indiscipline. 2. In addition, Lieutenant Richard Jakpa has incessantly been indebted to various people / institutions during the period. An example was his long indebtedness to Recce Regiment PRI.
Nsem-Pii TV